to get into this match again right here and now. Was dictating play most of the first set. Lost control in the second. Important for him to get a good start now.
First Spaniard to win this title was the great Manolo Santana, who is in the International Tennis Hall of Fame, 61 and again in 64. Andres Gimeno was the oldest champion, 34 years old in 1972. He'll get it. What's the call? I believe it was out. I cannot see the linesman from this position.
Well, I don't think we're going to see a mark here, Bud, because if we see this at the end of the point, Jim Courier brushed the mark off with his foot.
Well, the call was out, and it's Courier's point.
He should have put that ball away, but look at this very, very close call. Jim calmly walked over to the line.
30-15.
Whatever doubt there was gone after he slid his foot by it. But in all fairness, it was wide. Jim Courier is not that type of guy that would try to win a point in that manner.
And still the forehand is not firing on all pistons. 2-0, 20 unforced errors from his blunderbuss.
Well, you know the sign of a champion is to win when you're not playing your best. Jim Courier has been doing that the past couple weeks. That would just be all the more impressive. A la Steffi Graf yesterday. Did not play her best tennis, but physically, her athletic ability was the difference, and I think that's what's going to happen here today.
Sergi Bruguera has himself a break point.
But the grunning's getting louder and louder.
Yeah, he's the gargling man from Barcelona.
1 out of 11 is not going to get the job done against Jim Courier. Jim not doing a whole lot better at 2 out of 8, but 6 of those were in the previous game.
And he finally got one at the set point.
Come on, baby. Égalité.
It doesn't matter if you blow a lot of breakpoint opportunities in the game as long as you end up winning that game anyway. In a certain sense, it's more debilitating for the other player if he doesn't win the game. Look at the frustration here. He knows he should have at least gotten that ball back in the court. Look into the skies, maybe hoping for a little bit of cloud cover.
Sergi Bruguera began playing tennis at 6. And another breaker.
Both players feeling the pressure now, and both know how important it is to start off well in this set. 1 set all in a best of 5 set match. It's been narrowed down to a best of 3 set match in effect.
Break point. Opening game. 3rd set. They are dead even. Set all. Woo! And was Jim Courier glad to hear that linesman's call of out. Does he want a new racket?
Well, interestingly enough, Jim Courier is only 5 and 7, in 5 set matches as we see a replay of this point. Jim Courier attacking once again. Bruguera just barely missing this angle cross-court pass. Sergi Bruguera, on the other hand, is 4-7.
Fresh wristband.
Which is more expected for someone of his fitness level.
Fresh
Which is by no means bad, I should add, but compared to Jim Courier, we're talking about two different levels.
So it's deuce. For a second time, Courier has averted 2 break points.
Avantage Courier.
Determination on Jim Courier's face. Runs around that backhand. Flicks that forehand. Made Bruguera stretch. Get him even that little bit more tired. Seems to be slowly taking this match over, bud.
Now, that may have been a string. Yeah, I think so, John. So he'll serve the second ball with a fresh racket.
Not the easiest position to walk into.
No.
Second serve with a new racket.
Have you ever double faulted on that?
Many, many times. And that's probably the reason there we saw his forehand fly long. It could only take maybe even a half a pound or a pound difference in tension, and that's going to make the difference at that time.
3 deuces.
Probably should have taken a little bit off that ball, got himself the feel of the racket, and then maybe 2 or 3 shots into the rally, gone for that big forehand.
1 set all. First game, 3rd set, 3rd deuce. 2 break points against Courier. Snuffed. Another break point, does Sergi Bruguera.
Avantage Bruguera.
1 of 13 now for Sergi Bruguera. This is very important to try to get off to a good start. These guys are really putting a lot of effort into this. Look like, they're starting to sound a little bit like Monica Seles here out on center court. Although, from what I understand, Monica's cut back on her grunting.
Well, it's a more stylish grunt, I think. It's a double clutch. And we wish her back soon. We miss her.
Great point here by both players. Bruguera preparing for that big inside-out forehand. Hits the net, unfortunately. Gives Courier the time to hit that pass down the line. Getting back to Monica Seles, though, but I'm a little bit disappointed in the Women's Tennis Association that they took her #1 ranking away because of this incident. She's clearly been the top player in the world the last couple of years. It seems like they should have made some sort of adjustment for that.
Would you have frozen it? That's what
I personally would have. Very, very unusual, and hopefully a circumstance that will never happen again.
The proposition was put to the players, and they voted against it.
Well, I'm not surprised the players voted it down. That means they go up 1 spot, possibly in the rankings, if she stays out a year or so. Let's hope she gets back soon, because she's clearly been playing the best tennis in the last few years.
Only double fault of the day for Jim Courier, but it takes him into break point 4 in this game. After Bruguera, what a pair of games in succession. 5 deuces for Bruguera, and now Courier in 4 and a 4th break point. Watch out for the net.
Égalité.
Well, Bud, now we see it's only 1 out of 15 breakpoint chances. He's feeling the pressure. He knows how important it is to get on top early in the third set.
S'il vous plaît, mesdames et
Only
messieurs.
pushing that forehand return back and hitting it way
S'il vous
too
plaît, mesdames
short.
et messieurs.
Very
Clearly,
close.
he should. Sorry, but clearly he should have broken at least 2 or 3 more
Well,
times
you would
already.
think so. And that has to weigh on him very heavily. 2 successive 5-deuce games. Most unusual.
Well, let's give credit to Jim Courier, though. He's, as I've said before, the toughest player on the tour mentally. He's playing the big points extremely well.
Well, he says it's my title and take it if you can. Sergi Bruguera. Step right up and look at another great point, Sergi.
Well, he certainly loves that inside-out forehand. It hits it extremely well.
Bulgare.
Waits for his opportunity. Extremely short ball. Didn't hit this one quite as deep as he would like, but a fine overhead to get to his 15th breakpoint opportunity.
5th in the game.
Excuse me, 16th. I'm losing count. There's so many.
More break points than pigeons flying around here. All right, he thought it was a fault. LaRue Gascoigne comes out. I thought it hit the line, and we're right on that line.
Bruno's going to get out of the chair.
Bruno needs his exercise. About time, Bruno, you haven't been out here. Oh, and Bruno says it was out. Overrules. Gascoigne. Well, what do you think?
Well, it's certainly difficult to tell from this particular angle, but Jim Courier didn't have much to say about it, so I think he saw that the ball was out.
Second ball, break point.
Égalité.
But it's getting to be an epidemic for Sergi Bruguera.
6 deuces, 5 break points repelled in this game alone.
As we see him talking to himself here.
S'il vous plaît.
You had some pretty good soliloquies, John, in your day.
I talk to myself and a few other people while I play. Try to keep people interested.
On that one, the swinging volley.
Well, Bud, Sergi Bruguera is bringing out some tools I didn't know existed in his repertoire. Look at this. He takes the ball in the air, a swinging volley a la Andre Agassi.
Not recommended.
Well, it's not recommended for the average player, but that was an excellent play by Bruguera.
Break point 6.
Right on the line. And right on the line again.
The line, it cleaned the spot.
Unbelievable.
Bruguera says, what do I have to do to get a break point?
Look at this point.
I thought he missed it until it hit.
That one was an inch from the line, so he's probably disappointed with himself. That one hit the line. Now look at this overhead on the other line. Bruguera doesn't know what to think right now. He's looking at his father, saying, hey, I played a good point. I didn't lose this one.
7th deuce. It's wide.
Avantage Bulgare.
But this is going to be a very key game for Sergi Bruguera.
Well, 7's supposed to be a lucky number, and here's break point 7.
I don't know what he'll think if he won't be able to break here. 1 of 17. He needs to boost his morale just a little bit, and this would be a perfect way to do it. And that, I think, is the tension he's feeling from the fact that he hasn't been able to capitalize. That was a very makeable pass. Once again, another case where he should have at least made Courier play the volley. A little bit short on the return. A good approach by Jim Courier, but not a great one, allowing Bruguera an opportunity to at least hit that pass, and clearly feeling the tension on that point.
21st point of the game. It's the first game of the pivotal third set. Courier has had 1 game point. Bruguera, 7 of them. A test of wills, if there ever has been one in this match.
Test of shoulder strength for Jim Courier. He's been serving an awful long time, putting a lot of effort into it. Both players hitting the ball with a lot of pace. Jim Courier attacking once again. Not deep enough there. Bruguera took his time. He should try to remember all the deuce points he's been playing. Deuce, he's unbeatable.
S'il vous plaît,
8th.
petit peu de silence.
Break point coming up.
Short backswing, good preparation.
For the 22-year-old Barcelonan. And the lead as we begin the first set. You like it, Papa?
John, we got to do this. We're on like take 6.
Driven a Ford lately? By Merrill Lynch. For clients around the world, we make a difference. The difference is Merrill Lynch. And by MasterCard. MasterCard. It's more than a credit card. It's smart money.
S'il vous plaît, merci. Dans l'axe du court derrière les joueurs, rapidement, s'il vous plaît.
Did anything bend there, John? Jim Courier holding off Bruguera, but in that mammoth game, 18 minutes, 8 deuces, Bruguera finally scored his second break point out of 19 chances.
Well, but I think it was a far bigger game for Sergi Bruguera. Big boost for his confidence there. Finally, after 19 break point opportunities, finally to get his second one under his belt. Been a long time coming.
Tout petit peu de silence.
Incredible passage. Deuces over 2 games. And Courier would like to retrieve that right away. The old Pasco Pirate.
It'll be interesting to see how it affects the two
Mantle
players.
State, what about it, John?
The next game, this particular game, would be very interesting as Courier can get right back into it. Traditionally, it's always the best time to break back, the next game.
Love 15-second ball.
You can better believe that when the match is over, those two players will be talking about that game as a possible turning point in this match. Especially if Bruguera, by some chance, is able to come through and win this.
Wait.
A little bit of gamesmanship going on out there.
Clearly a fault, although the people to Bruguera's right would have seen it as good.
But I'll tell you something, they're hitting an awful lot of lines right now. Here is Jim Courier attacking once again. Hits his volley in the line. Too good a pass, though, by Sergi Bruguera. Great effort by Courier, just missing. continues his attacking style. There's a little bit of machoism here. Great effort by Courier here. Bruguera runs up. Jim guesses right, but it looked to me like he was trying to hit Sergi with that ball. Better serve, just putting it away cross court.
40-15 coming up.
Nice little touch by Sergi Bruguera. Both players showing a lot of quickness around the court.
On the line. And Bruguera has the first two games.
Je regarde. 2-0.
Excellent job by Sergi Bruguera there, bud. Played a long game.
Sergi Bruguera, who has won one tournament this year, Monte Carlo, which is a big clay court test, lost the final of Milan and the final of Barcelona.
He looks a bit fatigued.
Looks like he's dying, but that's customary for him.
But he must have a shot of adrenaline from that break of serve in the previous game.
37 wins, 13 losses, his match record this year.
But maybe Sergi's taking some lessons from Mary Jo Fernandez. She quite often looks to be completely exhausted, only to hit a couple of screaming winners in the successive points.
As she did yesterday in a magnificent bid to unseat Steffi Graf. Mary Jo Fernandez, third set, led 4-3, 30-15 on her own serve. Couldn't quite make it.
That's a big return thought by Sergi Bruguera. Timed that perfectly.
15.
As we see here, hits the ball a lot harder off the backhand return, surprisingly enough. As I said before, he really just blocks that forehand return back because he's stuck with that backhand grip. Doesn't have time to change it. Only in the second serve can he run around and hit that wicked topspin forehand.
35.
Jim Courier comes right back with a fine first serve up the middle. But you don't hear Jim Courier groaning quite as much as he is today. But look at this fan here, the winner. As he said before in an interview a couple days ago, he's in the finals now. He let it all hang out. He really appears to be doing that, putting all his effort into every stroke.
He's behind in the third set, the one set all. Ace! That's his third. So Bruguera has a 2-1 lead.
Bruguera mène par 2-1.
There are very simple things I want from a car. I want a car to run good. I want a car to look good. I like words like reliable, dependable, trustworthy, and I want it to look good. Did I say that already? I want a car I can trust. Does that seem like such a terrible thing? So I bought this new Impreza. It's got everything I just said, and it's a Subaru. I've taken care of things all my life, and I don't want to have to take care of a car. I locked my keys in the car.
Always cool.
NBC Sports coverage of the French Open is presented by Coca-Cola Classic. Always the real thing. Always Coca-Cola.
Dan Hicks back at Roland Garros with Courier's other coach, Jose Higueras. Do you think the longer this match goes on, Jose, it'll favor Jim because he's so physically fit?
Well, I don't know in what kind of shape Sergi is, but I know Jim is in top shape, and I don't think I will hurt him if the match goes long, so I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Let's go back to Buck Collins.
Comfortable man. And Hicks is Jose Higueras twice. Here.
Well, by the way, we're going to find out how fit Sergi Bruguera is. He hasn't had a tough road to the final. Certainly should have plenty left in the tank.
Well, that looks good. The 10th seed is Bruguera. Ranked 11th in the world. Courier 2-2 with rank and seed.
He's not going to be 11 in the world after this tournament.
Higher. 5.
Well, here we see a good example of the disguise on Sergi Bruguera's forehand. Looked like he was going to go down the line there, and the last second he whipped it across the court for a winner. Caught Jim Courier by surprise. Certainly didn't miss that pass by much. Looks like we're in a very, very close match here, but
That appearance.
a little bit unusual here. Jim Courier more on-force starts this win than winners.
A very strong game for Sergi Bruguera, stretching his lead to 3-1 in the third. Each has a set.
If you want an example, I had to hit a backhand pass on clay. Here it is. Sliding into the ball beautifully and taking the ball short backs right down the line.
And he's totally open on that stroke.
I like Jimmy Connors. That beautiful backhand stroke down the line.
Facing the net.